Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. In the content today, I'm going to show you how the Israeli conflict that just started, popping off like crazy, is showing the left, the gun controllers, for exactly what they are. And this is a huge part of what we do on this channel. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And please watch this video to the end because I think this is something that we all need to see and spread out. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on. Distributing freedom twice daily, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. All right, my brothers and sisters, this morning I did a live stream. And it was kind of a stream of thought live stream where you draw some interesting conclusions when you look at the left and you look at gun control and you look at governments who control guns. It kind of all goes out the window the second that there's a big emergency. We talked about that this morning. But particularly, I want to show you what the media just did today, and then also how the progressive wing, the gun-controlling wing, the most extreme part of the Democratic Party, are also responding. You're going to notice a theme, again, reinforcing what they do to us here at home in blue cities and states. You're going to see something, and let me know if I land this plane because this is it's telling to me. All right, so first off, let me say a special note really quickly. This morning when I did this afternoon when I did the FRT update for the ruling that came out, there's some questions and clarification if this FRT ruling goes against all FRT owners nationwide or just for the individual plaintiffs in the case. We're still waiting for all of the different nuances here to be clarified because it's kind of going both ways. I've seen a few different things. But anyway, that's the one little thing, and everything I was talking about was relating to the ATF specifically. But now that I've said that, cleared up any kind of confusion, let's dive into this because this is MSNBC. Buckle up. Keep in mind, this happened within 24 hours ago in Israel.
Because we've had a lot of statements from Americans, mostly Republicans this morning, but some Democrats who, it's a boilerplate. It's Israel is our greatest ally, the only democracy in the Middle East, our strongest ally. We must stand with Israel. There's no nuance or recognition of anything that has been going on, let alone, the only thing Americans are worried about these days are these so-called judicial reforms going on in Israel, which have led to hundreds of thousands of people protesting on the streets. But lots of Palestinians have said to me, boy, they wish that those same Israelis who were out there protesting the so-called judicial reforms would be protesting Israel's inhumane treatment of the Palestinians who live under Israeli occupation. But that's just not something that's happening. It's not something we're hearing from American politicians this morning. It's not something we're hearing from, I think the only comment I've heard is from the government of Qatar this morning about this.
That's weird. It's almost like Israel was the recipient of an unprecedented, unprovoked attack. And how dare no one else say anything about their own personal opinions about Israel and the different geopolitical policies that are going on there? By the way, another little keynote, little side table item. You remember how with J6 and anything with conservatives and anything with any bit of freedom, it's all about preserving our democracy because our democracy is at risk, and even looking at Trump's hair will cause democracy to fail. Then he says it tongue-in-cheek like, yeah, they're only democracy in the Middle East. Anyone picking that up? They're framing Israel on MSNBC to be the ones that caused this. Now, that's the theme that we're about to dive into because this is something that you see on the left with gun controllers particularly, but when you zoom out and you have another example, you see it from a different lens, a different perspective. They're about to blame the people who received the punishment first. Again, translate that back to what they do to gun owners in blue bastions in blue states. You're going to get punished if you defend yourself. If crime happens to you, there's probably something that you did to perpetrate it. And if you didn't do it, someone back in your genealogy did it for sure. So you're just going to have to take it on the chin because we can't have this. That's the point. This is all about, I don't want to get into too much. Let's get to the next clip, and then I'll probably come back to it.
Oh, but the fact is there's an entire people who are living under the boot of the Israeli army. They don't want to do that anymore, and they've tried everything, even the statement from Hamas. And this is not about Hamas. And I really want to caution your viewers not to be dragged into the good guy versus bad guy equation. We have to look at the bigger picture.
That's weird. A person on MSNBC who is speaking with the host, who just framed Israel as the aggressor when they were the recipient, just quoted Hamas saying it wasn't about Hamas. The actions that they caused weren't about Hamas. It was about other things. This was just the reaction which was caused by the people who received the punishment. It's so circular, can't you see? Again, zoom out one more thing that she said. And again, I'm a little squirrely on this because quite honestly, this drives me insane. She just said, I really want to warn your viewers not to get too deep into the right, wrong, good guy versus bad guy thing. Does that sound familiar, what they do here in the United States with gun control? Ooh, good guy with a gun. No, we can't say that. They're all bad guys with a gun. Really? So there's no good guy or bad guy situation in the United States, because then that would be a clear delineation and an easy observation to make. Same thing here. Isn't that weird? I warn all of you guys not to make a good guy, bad guy comparison. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Some of the stuff that we're seeing coming out of Israel right now from an unprovoked attack that with 12 different breach points across the border and a 2,000 rocket artillery strike, yeah, that's kind of hard not to draw good versus bad. Just saying, even today in 2023. But that's, maybe this person is just very, very nuanced and very, very articulate about her point. She wouldn't be extremely biased, would she? Oh, wait, look what she does.
I'd like to keep in touch with you as this develops, because it's going to develop. Noor O'Day is a Palestinian political analyst and activist.
Palestinian political analyst and activist. Great job, MSNBC. You're doing good work. No bias there at all, particularly in the things that she said. But now let's get past the media, because, it's basically the Democratic Party. But let's go into what the actual progressives are saying. Again, these are all gun controllers. Listen to the theme. This is interesting. All October 7th. Oh, man. Ilhan Omar. Such senseless violence will only repeat the back-and-forth cycle we've seen, which we cannot allow to continue. We need to call for de-escalation and ceasefire. De-escalation and ceasefire right when Israel's about to punch them back. Or, in the other example, right when you would defend yourself in your own home. Let's continue. I strongly condemn, from Congresswoman Cori Bush, I strongly condemn the targeting of civilians, and I urge immediate ceasefire and de-escalation. Wow, ceasefire and de-escalation again at the same time, all from the Progressive Caucus. Weird. Listen to this, though. Our immediate focus must be saving lives, but our ultimate focus must be on a just and lasting peace that ensures safety for everyone in the region. Violations of human rights do not justify more violations of human rights, and a military response will only exacerbate the suffering of Palestinians and Israelis alike. So, no military response, ceasefire and de-escalation. Oh, wait, this part. As part of achieving a just and lasting peace, we must do our part to stop this violence and trauma by ending U.S. government support for Israeli military occupation and apartheid. Wow, you are a peach. What's the illustrious Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez say? Let's find out. Today is devastating for all those seeking a lasting peace and respect for human rights in Israel and Palestine. You picking up the theme yet? Wait, there's more. I condemn Hamas's attack in the strongest possible terms. No child and family should ever endure the kind of violence and fear, and this violence will not solve the ongoing oppression and occupation in the region. An immediate ceasefire and de-escalation is urgently needed to save lives. Again, that's the payoff. I just showed you the progressive wing of the Democratic Party, all for heavy-duty gun control, all of which advocate for duty to retreat laws, which are coming out of blue states. You can't defend yourself, and if you did something wrong for them to break into your house, you clearly did something to provoke them, or it's a systemic issue in the system which is not directly related to you, but you're part of the system, so it's kind of your fault. Or, you do look a certain way. So 200 years ago, somebody made a bad mistake, and then that really translates to the point we're at now. So really, it makes sense why they would do this. So we're going to get a slap on the wrist over here, and thank you for your compliance. Meanwhile, MSNBC's over here saying it's all Israel's fault, and they're pulling up PLA, or Palestinian analyst and activist, to be objective. Anybody seeing this? It's all about blaming the victim. It will always be blaming the victim. Every time. You can't defend yourself. You must have done something to deserve this, because after all, it's a power dynamic. Every single time. And again, the whole point of this video is when you zoom out and you look at something from a different lens, it speaks volumes. And that is why I'm doing it from this angle. And I really hope I landed that plane, because I think this is an important one. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.